Tunnels was the central meeting point and the start of the common route. Cars that made it through the preliminary stages were given a thorough check-over by the team mechanics. Choosing the right tyres was vital to cope with the twisty, often snow-packed stages in the Alps. Time for the drivers to clock in, produce their paperwork and grab a quick cuppa. Just a few hours down the road, Paddy found himself on the wrong end of the long arm of the law.
You've got all these guys and a variety of works teams and lots of wealthy amateurs and playboys and stuff, and they're all kind of herring in. It's like a cross between Wacky Races and High Society, really, isn't it? The one name I bet you can't remember is that policeman who stopped you driving up the one-way street and then nearly got you chucked out of there, Monty, didn't it?
Well, I wouldn't have been chucked out, it'd been heavy. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted. I mean, it's serious stuff. We were up in the Ardennes somewhere in France, and I think it was Colmar, and it was very snowy, and you know, when it's really snowy and blowing, a lot of the signs get covered up, and I didn't see this one-way street, and Henry said, you know, sort of bear right, and I bared right, and it was a one-way street, and this very nasty policeman stopped us. And in those days, you know, we had the road book, we had coupons in the road book that if you had any removed by the police for breaking traffic regulations, you got penalised. So Henry, being a good, honest gentleman, you know, the guy asked for the road book, he knew all about it, and Henry was about to hand it over, and I said, "Oh, hide it, God, get it down there, hide it." And I said to him, in my very broken French, you know, we were actually out of the rally, we were on our way home, and I was very sorry I got up one-way street, but I was very depressed because one of my family had died and I was going home for the funeral. And he took
You terrible man!
And he started to cry and all, let us go, and as soon as we sort of got round the corner, it was flat out and off to get back on time again, you know. But
what would you give to have been having breakfast with that guy the next day or a couple of days later, whenever your face is plastered all over Le Monde or the Figaro or whatever?
I wonder if he's still alive, but I certainly wouldn't have been pleased if he read the paper and saw that we said,
Sacre bleu!
Pulled one on me, that Belfast guy.
Next up, Chambry and the first of the timed stages. It was here that Paddy and the Mini really started to prove their agility and strength.
Right. So this is the acceleration, you see?
Oh, yeah, just
all the way to the red line.
No,
Hey? Feel that?
it's very uncomfortable though. Why don't you use in higher gear? All you're doing is using petrol.
I'm accelerating.
Oh, you're driving like a 3-year-old, for God's sake.
Mas quem nada sai da minha frente que eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado.
Now this is where the competition really came to life. 5 flat-out stages through the French Alps covering a distance of about 130 kilometres. These roads separated the men from the boys. Hundreds of spectators would line the route all the way from the base of the valley up to the top of the mountain. It was fast, furious and extremely dangerous. One slip could cost you chunks of bodywork, or worse, your life.
And quickest of them all, the Mini Cooper of Hopkirk and Lytton, number 37.
Now these are the sort of roads, these are typical special stage style.
Well, these would be fast special stages.
Goodness, the first time we thought. You do still have it, don't you? No?
Downhill I'm all right.
Looking back, Paddy, would you say that victory in '64 in the Mini was the pivotal moment in your entire life?
Well, yes, I would think so. I mean, I was a professional rally driver, which had already changed my life, but the Monte win secured that very much and probably changed it further, and people, you know, I realised I could use the name to advantage.
40 years on and the memory of his Monte victory is still obviously very sweet. But one thing has been bothering me. Just how much does Paddy Hopkirk still love his driving? This is what the Monte Carlo rally was all about. The blind corners, hairpin bends, the sheer vertical drops only inches away. And I'm enjoying every second of his exquisite Mini masterclass. As we reach the summit, heavy snow adds even more jeopardy to the journey. Yet Paddy doesn't bat an eyelid. So that's the end of another long day. You know, I've had worse. This spectacular alpine scenery had been well worth 8 days cooped up with Mr H. Back in '64, they had no time to appreciate the sights. The foot was firmly flat to the floor.
This is the Col de Turini, probably the most famous and definitely the most treacherous stage on the Monte Carlo rally. It's a steep climb to the summit of this mountain pass, almost 5,000 feet above sea level. And it was here at this tricky double apex bend that